This man discovered a baby in the wilderness. The baby was still chewing on some unidentifiable object in its mouth. John thought he must have been seeing things, so he decided to head back to the city the way he came. After all, the wilderness held infinite dangers. Strangely, he encountered a child again. John assumed the little boy was lost in the desert, so he approached to ask if he needed help, but the child said he couldn't find his parents. John planned to take the boy back to the city with him. However, oddly enough, the boy walked straight ahead. John quickly caught up with him. The two walked through the desert for half an hour. Ahead lay a wilderness area with no signal. John quickly called for the boy to stop moving forward and offered him the last of his water to quench his thirst. At this moment, John had no idea that this act of kindness would bring him endless nightmares. He was about to pull the boy back to the road, but the boy pushed John away and continued walking toward the wilderness. John could only let the boy leave. As he departed, the boy flashed a strange smile. As darkness fell, John prepared to hurry home, but he soon lost his way. His phone had no signal either. He found a cave where he could rest for a while. Suddenly, he heard sounds coming from the surrounding area. John walked toward the sound and discovered a cliff valley. Looking closer, he saw a house with lights on, and a woman standing outside, about to go inside. John was overjoyed. He climbed down the ladder on the cliff. However, he had no idea that this very ladder would lead him into a nightmare. Soon John headed toward the house, but after knocking on the door, no one answered. Seeing that someone inside still had the lights on, John couldn't worry about propriety and opened the door to walk in. He explained that he had gotten lost in the desert and hoped they could provide some help. But strangely, the woman told John to sit down and eat first. John could only agree. Faced with such enthusiastic and generous hospitality from the woman, John found the food in his bowl very strange. But the hostess was eating it with great relish. Perhaps being trapped in the wilderness had put him in a bad mood. So John poured all the food from his bowl to the woman and asked for a glass of water to quench his thirst. John asked to borrow her phone to make a call, but the woman told him there was no phone here and invited him to stay and rest for the night. John had no choice but to agree. Early the next morning, while the woman was still sleeping, John left some money and prepared to leave. However, when John reached the ladder, he discovered that the ladder was now only half its original length.